Hello, this is Ben Johnson, Assistant Director, Louisville Parks and Recreation, with this month's Beyond the Bench, our monthly show on Metro TV where we take you beyond the park bench to all things happening in, at, around Louisville Parks and Recreation, community centers, parks, historic homes, Jefferson Memorial Forest, and more. We start every show with a Did You Know, sharing interesting tidbits. This month, Did You Know? All things World Fest. Based on the information I'm getting ready to share, a lot of you had the pleasure and opportunity to attend World Fest. But if you didn't, here's what you missed. By all accounts, this was one of the most successful World Fests ever. I went twice myself, and they said the vendors had an outstanding time, had some of the best receipts they ever had, and Mother Nature certainly cooperated. There were over 175,000 people in attendance over the 4 days. There were well over 100 food and craft vendors spread out on 3 different levels. There were 50 countries represented in the parade, and there were over 100 performers on 3 different stages. Louisville Parks and Recreation definitely had a hand in that success, and what we did, we had over 1,700 man-hours put in. We delivered over 100 picnic tables, 80 bike racks, and 2 stages for those 100 performers. We also helped set up and tear down a dance floor, 200 additional tables, and 650 chairs. So I want to give a special shout out and thanks both to our special events team, our operations team, and the team of Jay Wagner and his folks to help make this event a rousing success. Today's first guest is Chief James Brown, our park ranger. He's the first encore appearance on the show. Welcome.
Thank you for having me back.
And we have him back because some exciting things have happened since he's been here, and he's earned the opportunity to share that good news with you. So we're going to jump right in with the chief. You've been here a whopping 6 months, give or take. What's been your biggest surprise?
It's just been an amazing 6 months. It's hard to believe that it's been that long. It's been so filled with just different activities, administratively working to build the agency, daily visits to parks, and just it's been an amazing first about 6 months.
Okay. So you've been in, you said daily visits to park. You also come to the community centers. You come to some of the other special events. You do a great job of building rapport. What's your strategy, and why do you think that's so important?
It's mainly so important just because one of the things I've learned is that every park has its own unique just way about it, its own personality. So it's learning that. It's learning to go to those parks, get out of the car, and go find those people who are there on a daily basis, meet with them, understand what their concerns are about that park, and get their help in ensuring that park safety and security, and that it's usable for everyone. And one of the great experiences so far is I was at, I guess it was California Days a couple weeks ago, and I heard my name, and I looked, and there was a lady who said she was glad to see me because she wanted to see that I exist, because everybody at the park she's at, I think she's the Chickasaw, and she said they all talk about you, and they said that you're there, and she said it was just great to meet me. So those visits to talk to the people and getting out and understand them pay off, because then those park users tell other park users about this program and the great things that are going to happen with it.
So she said that with a smile on her face.
She did. She was glad to see me.
Well, okay, which rolls right into the next question. So what have you done, or what are you doing to address safety concerns? I mean, I don't want to say some are real and some are imagined, but some are based on things that have happened, and some are based on things that people don't want to see happen. So what are you doing to address safety concerns among staff and obviously the public?
Right. Well, among the staff, it's being that first line of person there that if they have an issue or a problem in the parks, especially the maintenance workers who are there every day, some of them have those same routes, and if they have an issue or concern, it's reaching out to me and seeing what I can do to, again, make their route safer or address whatever issues or concerns they have. Again, the biggest part of this program, it's a 50-50. It's ensuring the safety of the community that comes and uses the parks and recreation facilities, but it's also ensuring the safety of the people who work here for Parks and Recreation.
Okay, so the next question then, sort of a follow-up. So how do you sort of maintain that momentum? You talked about some of our maintenance guys, operations guys who have the same routes. So they address, or they bring a concern to you, you address it. Do you follow up? Is it sort of organic? Do they know that you've taken care of it?
Right, it's all of those things.
Okay.
It's about being present, seeing that person who's there at the same time every morning, getting out, having a conversation with them just like I would a person who's out walking their dog that day, and finding out from them where they have issues or problems, because maybe there's something that they see that I haven't seen yet that hasn't been reported through 311 or any community member. So it's, again, working with them is being eyes and ears for everybody's safety and addressing whatever issues that they see or they bring to our attention.
So at the moment, you're a one-man band.
I am.
So, you know, you're all things to all people, but I also know that you have some significant partners out there. Sort of who are they and how are they helping you? And then obviously including LMPD.
So, you know, obviously the park has major contributors to it with Olmsted, Parks Alliance, Wilderness Louisville. So some of the things have been, you know, meeting with them, learning how they assist, and then also learning what are those third-party organizations that maybe they interact with. And some of those have been meeting with the Parks Alliance at Alberta Jones and finding other resources that are out there and available, other people that I can refer, people who may be in need in the parks to, that there are resources available beyond what the city offers to try to get people connected with services if they are in need of something while in the parks.
Okay, LMPD?
It's being the liaison between those two. Like you said, right now this is a one-man band, a one-man show, so you know, it can't be at all 124 parks. But what I can do is build that relationship within all the divisions and some of the specialty units and get their help and ask them to give that extra attention to issues or utilize those resources that they do have available if there's something that I need to investigate or continually follow up on.
A very dangerous compliment that I've heard you receive is a number of Metro Council reps have referred to you as their park ranger. And I'm like, well, we got a few more parks than the ones just in your district. But again, I think that just goes to your ability to connect with people and for people to feel comfortable and confident in your ability. So again, it's dangerous, but it's a compliment nonetheless.
Right, I think you said that right. It's their park, and that's the thing. When you go to these parks, the people who are in them, a lot of people that they consider that individual park they're in, it's their park. They grew up around the street from it. They've been coming there their whole life. So to them, they have that vested ownership and community sense of it. To them, there may not be 124 parks. You know, to them, this is their park, and that's what we want to help this program be. Is that it ensures that whether your park is California or your park is Wyandotte, that you think it's treated the same and it's given the same safety as your security concern.
And they're all important.
Absolutely.
So speaking of important, you mentioned California Days. We had some well-publicized issues, incidents at the California Community Center. And you were very diligent in getting that resolved, worked again with one of our partners, yours, particularly LMPD. What can you tell us about that? And I do want to say and give you a shout out, we don't play about our stuff. We never did, but now we have somebody who can make sure that the appropriate resources are focused on the appropriate situation. So tell us about that.
It's something that had been going on. So for my role was trying to help coordinate and make sure that it got the extra attention that it needed. This is a very important thing. This is not that anyone having their property taken from isn't important, but this is a community center that's utilized by countless people of all ages, especially kids that come there, and that may be the only access they have to a computer. So if someone is removing it from there, it's taking away from other people's ability to enjoy the community center and just have that experience. So it was working with LMPD, again, utilizing those extra resources they have available, ensuring that every investigative technique that might have been available to us was deployed, up to and including extra man hours and extra attention from them to ultimately resolve it by catching the person in the act of somewhere else, and again, doing that necessary follow-up investigation to tie it to the California Community Centers and hopefully bring a resolution to it. But it's also that perspective of making sure that we follow through on security improvements and safety improvements so that this doesn't happen in the future, and that we can proactively work towards our other community centers to try to prevent things like this from happening.
Correct, and we are working on that. And I do want to give LMPD a shout out because we both know without a shadow of a doubt that they did deploy some extra resources when they could to try to catch the perpetrator, and they did. So kudos to you. kudos to them. The community's better off, and I know the center supervisor, who was just like personally hurt, feels a lot better knowing that her kids will now have access to those computers and to their center. Speaking of kids, you were also able to help locate a missing young person. Mm-hmm. Tell us a little bit about that.
I was in Iroquois Park a couple weeks ago, and it's just being in the park, riding around, getting out, walking and talking, and observing a very young teenager-ish kid that just something didn't seem right based on his demeanor and just how he was in the park. So got out, stopped, talked to him, carried on a pretty long conversation, and then worked through that to understand and figure out that he had been reported missing, and working with LMPD to get him returned back to his family.
Mm-hmm. So again, a positive resolution.
Absolutely.
I work with young people all the time. Not always the easiest thing to develop that kind of rapport right off, mm-hmm. particularly in a uniform.
Absolutely.
So again, kudos to you. You've mentioned a couple different parks. I know Wyandotte is getting a lot of attention. What's going on there?
That's one where we're just trying to perhaps maybe change the culture of how its use had been recently, and working with, again, our partners with LMPD to give it that attention so that there's no barrier that might exist in that park that would keep people from utilizing it. So it's a daily patrol, or sometimes twice a day or more, of going through there, reaching out, making contact with people who are there, ensuring that everyone who is utilizing it properly, and if people aren't, it's following through, showing that it's going to be taken seriously, and enforcement if necessary to ensure the park's safety and security.
Great. And you're also a volunteer firefighter, apparently?
I wear many hats. Like you said, this is a one-man band, but it's many pieces, apparently.
So what happened with that?
Just, when you're a peace officer or a police officer, you never check out. And was having lunch with some other officers and some Metro people from the mayor's office.
It was actually a meeting.
It was actually a meeting, and just right downtown, and saw something kind of out of the corner and saw people start showing up, and realized there was a car that was on fire in the roadway right outside. So sprung into action, got my fire extinguisher out, and went out there and extinguished it before the fire department showed up, and basically, hopefully saved most of that car and saved it from spreading to any cars that were parked right there around it.
And we need to let the fire department know you're still on probation, so I don't think you get to transfer departments. So.
No, I haven't got a secondary job offer yet, or swapping out the Ranger vehicle for a big red truck.
Got you. So no, and if you get that offer, let me know, and we'll tell them off limits. So you've been here before, so there's always the last question. Oh. So you've been here before. This is a pretty celebratory interview, and again, kudos to you. Great job. Your impact is spreading, and people are noticing. But at some point, whether it's the fire department or just back home, you will leave. You will retire. What do you want to be your specific legacy of your time in Louisville Parks and Recreation, as well as the legacy of this program, which we are hoping to grow and get you some help?
Absolutely. I want it to be that it was service, and it basically stood for service, integrity, and building the parks the best they could. So it's getting this agency started on the right foundation, the right policy and procedures, and finding those right people that can continue on all of these things that are making positive impacts with it. I want it to become that these aren't one-offs of service, these aren't one-offs of community involvement, and that as it moves on, and like I said, once I retire, I can pass those reins off to someone else who has the same level of care and commitment to the parks and the people of Louisville that I do, and everyone else that I've worked with, especially you and your community center activities, that we're both genuinely invested in the safety and security of these facilities and parks, and I want to make sure that I build it, that will continue.
And we appreciate that. You mentioned me in the community centers. You already have a hand signal from me because you believe in service with a smile. Mm-hmm. On occasion, I can be a little intense, and we have our own little code where you're telling me, breathe. Mm-hmm. So this has been James Brown, our Chief Park Ranger, who has done an outstanding job. We wanted to bring him back to celebrate what he's done, and also let the community know that the time and effort and resources that we are spending in this program are well spent. We'll see you in a few moments. Welcome back. Beyond the Bench, Part 2. My second special guest is Ms. Brooke Pardue, President and CEO of the Parks Alliance of Louisville. Welcome.
Thank you, Ben.
So, some people might be aware of the Parks Alliance. They might not be aware of Brooke Pardue. Who are you? How did you get here? And why do we have a Parks Alliance?
Well, the Parks Alliance is a nonprofit that supports more than 100 of our Louisville Metro public parks and community centers. We say that we do three things. We advocate for more spending from Metro government. We educate the public on how important investment in public parks
Absolutely.
is. And we activate supporters to invest in priority projects.
And we certainly appreciate that. You got on your cute little shirt for the Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular, which is your premier event, which benefits us greatly. So enlighten the community.
So Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular at Iroquois Park runs through the month of October, and it is the far and away the largest fundraiser for the Parks Alliance. We like to tell folks that a portion of every ticket sold is invested right back in your public parks. And the Alliance runs the event. You will see all of us out there all month. And the proceeds benefit our Louisville Metro Public Parks, so it's a win-win.
Right. Well, so I guess it's a win-win-win. It's a great event for you all, huge benefit for us, and an outstanding fun event for the community.
That's exactly right.
So-
And it's not even just the community. Last year we welcomed more than 115,000 guests
My next question.
to Jack-O-Lantern Spectacular, and more than 50% of those folks come from outside of the Louisville metropolitan area. So we had visitors from all 50 states.
I was going to my next question.
See, I'm so used to doing
You're
that
so good.
spiel. So we had visitors from all 50 states, foreign countries. It really is an attraction for folks
world.
across the
world.
for the world. That's
Yeah.
right.
Because it is such a wonderful and unique event.
Correct.
Okay. So, speaking of wonderful and unique, you have a fresh theme every year. If you can share this year's theme, but also how do you all go about choosing the theme?
Well, we work with our production company to choose the theme, and this year's theme is Jack's Pun King Trail.
You want to spell that?
Yes, PUN-KING. So
Okay.
Jack is the king of the puns.
Uh-oh.
It is a trailway of wordplay. It's basically a bunch of dad jokes
Okay.
throughout the trail. We're
But
going to
it
have
is
a lot of
kid-friendly.
fun. It is absolutely kid-friendly, always, always. But every year our production company completely reimagines the event with a new theme. So you don't ever see the same thing twice.
And your production company is?
Passion for Pumpkins is the name of the company. This is one of only 3 places in the country that you can see a Passion for Pumpkins produced event. The other 2 are at the Providence Zoo and at the Minnesota Zoo, but I will say that Louisville's event that is through the majestic woods of Iroquois Park is the only place you can experience pumpkins that way.
And also, I was going to say that. So the 2 zoos, but one of our parks. So
Correct.
that's something else that makes us unique.
Yes, it
And
is
they've been your partners from day one.
from day one. This is our 13th year.
Wow, that is crazy. So, numbers. How many pumpkins will be carved this year?
We have more than 5,000 pumpkins on the trail at any given time.
Wow.
We have the intricate pumpkins, is what we call them. Those are the pumpkins, the large pumpkins that are created by local artists.
Okay.
So we'll have somewhere around 120 of those intricate pumpkins on the trail at any given time.
Okay.
Those pumpkins also only last 3 to 7 days.
Gotcha. I was going to help you with the commercial to tell people you actually, and I've done this, you need to come out more than once.
Yes.
Because it is not the same exhibit.
It is not. We are putting produce in the woods, right? So the squirrels and the deer love the pumpkins too, and so if we have a rainy, warm season, it is just death knell for the pumpkins. So we've got folks carving them round the clock through the month of October.
And you mentioned local artists, so I'm assuming that some of these carvers come in just for the event, or are they all here?
They're all here.
Oh, wow.
I mean, so we are actually supporting local Louisville artists, and we have the Pumpkin Barn is open 24 hours a day because some artists will like to come in, at midnight and work until 2 o'clock in the morning, and they have their day jobs or they have other work that they're doing. So, and then some will do, 3 or 4 pumpkins, some will do 30 pumpkins. But it's the ability, we'll have around 30 local artists that will be part of the team this year.
So I'm going to unexpectedly put you on the spot.
Okay.
If I'm a carver or an artist, and this sounds so wonderful to me, and I want to be a part of next year's spectacular,
right?
What do I need to do?
Reach out to the Parks Alliance of Louisville.
Okay.
You can shoot us an email, go on our website, and shoot us an email, and we'll connect you with the production company. I think typically what they do is bring folks in and put them in front of a pumpkin and say, show us your stuff.
That's cool.
And so they do kind of a tryout phase, but I think they're always looking for new artists.
A tryout phase, that could be an interesting event to take place at a community center.
Ooh.
And I know people.
I know people too, like the one sitting right here.
Maybe we can work together. But you know what though? We could talk, because that could be kind of fun for some of our young people to see.
Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
See, love the collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. So, 13 years, so we've, Parks and Recreation, lots of spectaculars, lots of themes. How do you all come up with those? And I know it's dangerous to say, have you had a favorite one? So we'll say which one you think the public has received the best. I take you off the spot. Oh, do you have one?
No, I have one.
Okay, great.
I'll throw it out there. I was an English literature major, so my favorite was A Night at the Library.
Oh, okay. Fits.
Right? So we had, the other thing that's so fun about the way they do the skits based around the theme is that they'll have different props that they use to actually announce or label that different skit. And the year they did A Night at the Library, they had these enormous books that were part of each skit. And then it was Grimm's Fairy Tales, or it was Space Odyssey, or something like that. So that one was my favorite. I'll say it is primarily ideas that come from the production company, but then they'll float some stuff by us. Last year it was Trivia Night, Pumpkin Edition.
Right.
So then they come up with the idea for the theme. We then come up with, okay, what is our graphic design going to be for that theme? So this year they wanted to do kind of the dad jokes, puns, and then we came up with Jack as the pun king.
Right, that's cool.
It's really cute.
And people don't, if you haven't been, and I can't imagine why you haven't, but if you haven't, and you can correct that this year, there's actually a sort of a story on the trail. I mean, there are sections that go together and have a theme within the theme.
Yeah. So honestly, I have only seen a few little bits of the production. They haven't put it up yet. So they're just, the first batch of pumpkins just arrived last week.
Okay.
They've started working on the trail about 3 weeks ago. So I've not even walked the trail yet this year to see what it looks like.
So when did you see it for the first time?
I usually, where are we now? Early September. I will usually see it by, next week.
Okay.
is, I mean, I've seen the list, I know what they're working on, we've come up with the theme, we've worked together, but I've not physically, I've been to the pumpkin barns, I've seen the new pumpkins that came in, but I've not physically been on the trail yet.
And it's also not just walk around, look at the pumpkins and read the puns.
Right.
I mean, their lightings, their special effects, and the music is always incredible.
Right, the music is on point. You know, we say frequently that you can't describe Jack-o'-lantern Spectacular. It's just something that you have to experience.
Right. And I would agree.
And even the people, and it's funny because you know you talk to people. Well, I can't describe it. Then they go. Then you talk to them again. And I'm like, okay, so how would you describe it? And they're like,
I still
can't describe it. You just have to experience.
I agree. And we're coming up on time. And of course, there's just so much to this that we could go another 30 minutes. Well, we can't, but we could. So you've also expanded. There's a pre-lit bash.
Yes.
So talk about that.
Opening night, we have the pre-lit bash. It is a separate event before the trail opens on opening night. It's that evening, but it's in the sort of beer garden area behind the amphitheater. We have an open bar and we have dinner. And then an escort to the head of the trail. So
a different kind of VIP.
It's a different kind of VIP, but it really has turned into a huge event for people who want to be some of the first to see the event and also get that VIP experience.
Okay, so there's always a surprise question. We didn't even have time to touch on all of the other projects and things that you all have done at the community centers and at other parks. But at some point, there will be the Brooke, Pardue, and Parks Alliance legacy. What do you want that to be? When you're no longer in charge, but the Parks Alliance will keep supporting us.
Great parks for all.
Great parks for all.
That's our vision.
All right, that's short, sweet, and simple, which gives you enough time for a quick commercial. How can people purchase tickets?
People can purchase tickets by, if you just Google Jack-o'-lantern Louisville, takes you to our website. You can also go to the Iroquois Amphitheater's website, and you can learn more about the event on our website. From there, you can click through to tickets, or you can go straight to the amphitheater's website and have a direct link to Ticketmaster. I will say, want to give a big shout out to our sponsors of this event as well.
Okay.
Humana and Centerwell are on this year as our presenting sponsor, and we are so grateful for their support. And if you go to our website, you can see all the other organizations in town that come together to support this event and support our public parks.
Great. And with that, Brooke, Pardue, Parks Alliance of Louisville, thank you very much for the wonderful event and for what you do to support the public parks.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching another interesting episode of Beyond the Bench. Follow us on all socials at Lou KY Park. See you next month.